Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Forged Alliance Forever promotional series with me, your host, Gyle. I've got a ladder match for you guys today, but before we get bogged down in all that, I just want to mention very quickly that, of course, many of you will have seen that the poll survey is out from Zep regarding the balance patch for 3622. If you haven't had your say, guys, already, please vote. It's really important. This is a democracy here. We're all in charge of balancing and modding the game. And if you don't have your say, then most importantly, you can't whinge and whine if something gets put in that you don't agree with. And we all like whinging rights, so yeah, don't miss out on yours. If you're not familiar 100% with some of the proposals, it's all on the forums, guys, under 3622. You can see the history and the conversations that have been going on there for a few weeks now, and you can familiarize yourselves, and you'll be in the position to make the best choice on the vote. Anyway, on to today's match. It's going to take place on Twin Rivers. So let's see how these guys are going to get on as we kick things off. Let's see where these guys are situated. Down here at the bottom left in the red corner, we have Sunny. He's going Cyber and he's opening land. 5 P-gens looks like, then second land. And that's going to set him off nicely. He's actually changing that up slightly, the build order. He's going to get some mexes involved with that. So all very simple to begin with. And then up here at the top right, we've got Beej in the blue corner, also going Cybrin. So it's an all Cybrin affair, a mirror matchup, if you will. And he's going land 1, 2, 3, 4 P-gens, a couple of mexes on that to kick things off. Straight off the factory line for him is an engineer. Second is also an engineer. We'll get a little bit of an idea of what his build order is like from the third unit if we just hang around for a few seconds. And the third one is an engineer. So Beej is going the expansionist route. It's not going too aggressive, but on the other side of things, down here we can see Sunny is going for a more aggressive start. He's already got a mole and a hunter off the pad, and he's heading his way north, probably more than likely on an engineer killing spree, or at least that'll be the mission. We'll see how he's going to work out with that in just a second. Incidentally, guys, before I forget, lots of people asking me how I like replays submitted. You can give me the names of the people you fought against, the map, so I can look them up, or the replay number. I can do that. I much prefer having a nice, simple replay link, guys, a download link for the replay. So if you want to host it on Dropbox or Mediafire, you would be saving me so much time, and it would be much appreciated. But it's up to you. I will try and watch it nonetheless. Anyway, back to the game. We've got an initial engagement brewing. I think both of these guys will be aware of each other since there are 2 moles in the vicinity, and immediately Sunny heads south to try and pick up that mole. Gets 1 volley off. Second volley should do it. Indeed it does. You can see Beej was trying to micro it out the way, but unfortunately there is a reinforcing mantis. However, there is no intel. Will he be able to track? No, he won't. He stops there, and those guys are going to head north to colder pastures. And there's actually an engineer now, badly timed. If Sunny decides to cut in here, he should pick that up. But currently, he's not going to. He's heading right in here to the back, so that's a little unfortunate for him. And we've got a second group down here coming up, but this time comprised of mantis, so a slightly heavier, more dangerous group of units there on another engineer killing spree. Beej has headed south with his commander. He's picked up these 2 mass points, and he's going to start working on a couple of land factories. Going to get a nice little land factory base up. No air factory as yet, though, for Beej. Still just working on land spam. We see a colossal amount of land spam for Sunny as well. Look at that huge row of factories going down, and still no air factory either, which is quite surprising. You'd assume with someone going, or both these guys going Cyber, and someone was going to go for some early jester play, especially on a map like this. So very useful. Go around popping all the engineers. But no, neither of these guys going for anything like that at the moment. They're going pure land. You can hear the first little engagement happening up here. 1 little guarding mantis sent out there to prevent any more hunters getting some more easy kills on engineers or anything like that. But unfortunately for him, he ran into superior numbers of mantis. But we are getting some counterplay from Beej. He sent a couple of mantis south, and this guy here has picked up 1 kill. Engineer was diligently working away, trying to get some mass extractors going, minding his own business, and got some red lasers in the face. So that didn't work out too well for him, and this mantis is going to sit there chewing on this mass point. Eventually he'll make it through. that and score himself another kill. And another Mantis coming down here actually for Beej, just makes his way into the back edge of Sunny's base. And there was an engineer that was going to pick those up, but Sunny has very wisely anticipated this move, and he's actually going to move that out the way and leave it there for later until he's dealt with that Mantis. Nice play indeed from him, expecting the little run by Sunny, saying now it's my turn, relating to the little raiding parties that have made his way into his territory. He's got another one coming south, but he does actually have superior numbers close to the river here, so he won't have any problems dealing with that. He's actually sent a mole further north that's going to give him some decent intel of what's waiting for him. But I like what Beej is doing up here. He's got different rally points set at different places, so little groups of Mantis amass in different areas. Hopefully that will afford him some protection on the run-by, stop any units getting in around the back of his base from Sunny. I assume that's the idea. But we're going to get a little bit more contact here from some forward Mantis from Beej. He's going to immediately see the ACU is located right there, so he's going to carry on pushing away from it and head into the main base, but in time to meet a huge wave of Mantis coming off the production pads from Sunny's base, and he's going to have to withdraw with those Mantis that he's got left on that. Little run-by happening though on the right-hand side for Sunny, just by the river. Once again, going to run into superior forces thanks to the little groupings that Beej has situated. I wonder if he's still got those rally points marked. You can see one there coming out from, I guess, these two factories. Looks like it. It's just going to mass troops there. It's a very wise decision indeed. I like that. And Beej has made quite a nice little stand here by these two mass points. He's grabbed an autogun, put it in place. That'll afford him some defense. You actually take a look at things in terms of map control. Beej has slightly more. He's made his way further south than Sunny has north. He's got both of these mass points and these two. Neither player, though, perhaps due down to the late arrival of any air factories, neither guy's gone for either of these side islands, and that's something on this map that you will of course lose out on if you don't go for an air factory. You need it to get those. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, so 8 mass points not challenged for from either of these guys on this map yet, so it's a lot of mass going to waste in this early game. And a little run by happening on both sides of the map now, both sides of the main continent. And although a little intercept was attempted by Beej up here, Sunny had superior numbers and has dealt with that and is now getting into the corner. So the flanks looking like they're crumbling slightly for Beej. However, at the same time, we've got a little bit of an assault down here from Beej's troops, getting in here, taking down a couple of mass points, taking down a bunch of engineers. And what troops Sunny has in the area, he's got to pull back and regroup with large numbers, otherwise he'll just be feeding those. And successful run by happening on both sides. But we have finally got air out for Beej. We can see a Jester in the area, and that will help guard these sections on the side, which is really good because at the moment Sunny's having a lot of success at moving on the flanks. Beej needs to secure those. But at the same time, look at the group of Mantis having a lot of success. That's 5 mass points down, soon to potentially be 6 on their way out. Oh, that survives on 40 hit points. How incredibly annoying for Beej. He's making his way south, further into the enemy territory. Could pick up another 4 mass points here. So we'll check eco in just a second when the action dies down. I think we're going to see Sunny slightly behind, as Beej has had a lot of success on these little raiding parties. And this little group here on the side has made its way right into the center, but really isn't having any significant impact on the infrastructure of Beej's main base at all. It's a shame Beej on the left-hand side hadn't decided to cut right. Could have grabbed that engineer and halted the expansion and picked up this mass point, but instead decides to come forward and meet head-on groups of Mantis from Sunny. And look at the back, so it really is all go. These guys unable to secure any real meaningful section of their territory. Mantis moving in from Sunny now has taken out 3 mass points at the back of Beej's base. Once again, making some impression on the main base of Beej. However, of course, running into this Jester is going to go completely unmolested. Are we seeing any air factory out? Yes, we are. So we've got 1 air factory up and running for Sunny, another one online soon after it. Straight out, producing interceptors, going to try and counter that Jester play, which is very wise indeed. And another engagement happening now in the middle, this time between Beej's Mantis and the base, which Sunny was trying to erect with his comm. I think in terms of numbers, it looks like superior numbers are favouring Beej, at least for the moment. However, when the next round of Mantis come off, that will soon change. So it's very backwards and forth indeed. Not seeing any interceptors out. So we've got 1 or 2 interceptors out for Sunny. He's patrolling. Looks like he's going after that scout plane that's been kicking around for a little while now. As the group of Mantis from Beej make their way into Sunny's main base. Could do with taking out some of these engineers and stopping the progress on this autogun. Indeed, that's what they're primarying. Lots of the fire getting getting interrupted though by that T1 power gen. Finally, they deal with that engineer and halt production on that gun. So a little bit of reprieve there on the construction of that. We'll slow this right down while we take a look at ecos. Don't see reclaim going up for Beej. So 36 mass looks like the accurate amount of income, and 28 mass for Sunny. So Sunny slightly behind Beej, being a little bit more effective at harassing his opponent on the eco side of things. Sunny still unable to get defensive fortifications up at this forward base, trying so very hard, but constant streams of Mantis coming in from all directions, and another one coming down the far side as well, next to the river from Beej. Sunny is slightly beginning to lose his game. Because the amount of pressure that Beej is applying, it means he's getting a reprieve. Could do with getting some more engineers out to build mass points. He's got a whole group of them running in tandem, working on the same project, so they'll be put up nice and quickly, but he won't expand that quickly. And wisely, I like what they're doing here. He's going after the air factories. If he can take those air factories down, that will give him a nice advantage in the air. But he's got too many Mantis coming off the pads and Medusas for him to worry about, so he's trying to primary those first. I think he's probably going to run out of units before he can take those factories down, especially since all of these forward units have been redirected from Sunny, going straight after that group. So I don't think they're going to get any meaningful damage done in the base. Indeed, they finally go pop, but we can see we've got a radar up. Sorry, radar. We're talking about a shield gen up for Beej. So he's obviously got T2 on his comm. He's working on a Cerberus turret. Has a TAC missile launcher half built. So we do have a radar up as well, but it's only T1. So this is turning into a nasty little fortification here that will afford him some coverage, which is a good thing too as well, with his comm as far south as it is. Still keeping the pressure up with the Mantis spam, but that's quite a nasty amount of troops that's accumulating for Sunny. Take a look at the amount of factories these guys have got. Both are really quite maxed out on eco. They're not floating any significant amounts of mass. A lot of engineers getting caught down here. Oh, they're not going to get that up. Oh, they might do. Oh, Beej, drop your engineers south. That's going to go online, and that will lose you this area. How very painful indeed. Go off the engineer. No. Oh, if only it had moved south a little bit earlier, that would have allowed them to really make an impact on that area. Anyway, so it looks like 11 factories plus another 4 potentially buildings. So around about the 15 mark. So Beej is on... we got here, so he's on 14, so very similar numbers on production capabilities, but because he's been sitting in the base defending, Sunny has started to rack up quite a large group of T1 units in the middle. They've slowly been accumulating, and Beej is going to have to withdraw. I don't know, he hasn't got quite enough defensive power down here. If Sunny was to suddenly cut right, he could really put some pressure on the comm. They could deal with that Cerberus turret, that singular Cerberus turret, with ease. First TAC missile is ready for Beej. You can start firing those at any time, start going on a mass sniping mission. But instead of going after that main base, Sunny has cut north and is going to try and pressure the side of Beej's base. I think that's a mistake. I think he had enough stuff to go straight after that base, but of course, very easy being the caster and seeing everything. Sunny does not have the same amount of intel. We can see TAC missiles now coming in from Beej, going straight after the mass. So one thing that Sunny doesn't need to be losing right now is his mass points in his main base. He has been behind now on eco for a little bit, and he's lost this side base again. Group of Mantis making their way south. Another auto gun that's not going to get finished from Sunny. So Beej really is everywhere at the moment, scoring targeted damage on important areas of the map. giving him a huge advantage, and slowly but surely Sunny is beginning to fall behind in this one, I believe. You can see in terms of the score it's certainly reflecting that. An auto gun is in place over on the right hand side, so that will keep this little area defended. He can get the Mantis out of range, however. He will be able to take down this right mass point, and certainly these two at the back will go down as well. Meanwhile, the war rages on the front line up here at the foot of Beej's northern territory. And certainly it looks like Beej has kind of even the numbers out. It's going to be a close run thing. Too close to call for the minute. I think Beej is probably beaten thanks to the nice rows of formations that were laid out by Sunny, all very neat, giving him the best possible face of which to fire upon his enemy. As the replicators go to war. Large groups of reinforcing units, though. This is what happens when you get a stagnant line moving one way and then the other. The further you go into your opponent's territory, the faster they're going to be able to reinforce. As that next group come in, that will be able to cause some significant damage, but look at what's happened to Beej's flank. It's just crumbling, and of course TAC missiles still going off. We're going to have to go to split screen for this one. Keep an eye on what's going on in these two different areas of the map. TAC missiles still coming in. Mass points going down left, right and center. He's starting to work on power. Isn't really going to help him a great deal. He's going to take out one or two at a time. AoE not great on those missiles. Would be good if they had been packed together, but of course they're little templates, I'm assuming, nicely stamped down with spaces in between, so minimizing collateral damage from such stuff. Got a naval factory going on up here, I assume, for Beej. Still, side islands unclaimed. Neither of these guys making use of them, but it has been a very busy game indeed, so you can kind of cut these guys a bit of a break. And now it's Beej's turn to go on the offensive. Both of these areas, a little run by at the back, making his way round. Could cause havoc, especially get in here and take out that T2 mass. That would really hurt Sunny. I think Beej needs to move in with his forces. I'd like to see a few more Medusas in the mix, help him take down these buildings a little bit quicker, especially since there's all kinds of autoguns littered around the map. For Sunny, he's being quite defensive in the last few minutes of this game as we approach or come up to the 20-minute mark. That T2 mass point is going to go down. Take a very quick look at the ecos of these two players. Beej sitting on a round, hard to tell, a lot of reclaim going on, but certainly around the 60 mass mark. I think Sunny on a woeful 16, so Sunny needs to get back involved in this game in terms of eco. He's suffering greatly. Look at all of the mass on this side of the map has just been annihilated, and mass in the center of his base thanks to this TAC missile launcher. That was a nice maneuver indeed from Beej. So Beej very much the stronger player at this, and if Sunny doesn't do something quickly, I don't see a way back for him in this game. You can see how massively and much the scores differ at this point. Lots of interceptors out on the field now for Beej, and T2 land as well, so he has air control. He's teched up. Finally, Sunny has got a little bit of control over this TAC missile spam. He's got a few zappers in place that will protect him from the mass sniping that's been going on. He needs this mass in his base now more than ever, being as he's completely caved in on the right hand side and at the rear. He needs to reassert himself, but for the moment there seems to be a lull in activity as both these guys mass troops, but certainly obviously Beej is massing at a much faster rate than his opponent. A few interceptor battles going on around the map. Beej is using all of that eco more or less, which is many times that of Sunny, who's also obviously redlining on mass. Certainly stuff is going to accumulate an awful lot quicker for the blue team. I think he could probably pretty seriously think about engaging as the TAC missiles come in on the right hand side. He's deciding not to go for the base anymore, which is very wise indeed. That factory's on 32 hit points, takes out the point defense, going for the other one on the right hand side. That base is now wide open. Reinforcing Mantis from Sunny, predicting the attack very wisely. More auto guns going down a little bit further. He could probably do with getting his commander up here and getting a zapper in play. He doesn't want to put it in unnecessary harm's way. But it's about to be a pretty significant fight kicking off at this forward base. Too early to say who has the advantage. I think Beej recognizes that Sunny's reinforcements mean that he does, so he's wisely retreating to friendlier territory, and Sunny is going to pursue with his Mantis. He's got a much better composition of units as Sunny, but he just hasn't got as many of them. Of course, he can't pursue too far. He's going to run into much heavier forces from Beej, who really should be click and dragging a box and sending all of this in now. And at the same time, I don't know why he's not attacking with this attack missile down here. Probably won't make it past that zapper. In fact, it definitely won't, so he won't be able to deal with that. But Sunny's comm is wide open and building Cerberus turrets very close indeed to Beej's firebase, and that's looking very secure indeed. He's got a lot of T2 flak in there, he's got a lot of Cerberus turrets, he's got zappers. So Beej looking quite comfortable at the moment as he sits beneath 2 shields. There's a little bit of a lull in activity, and I really do feel that if Beej went all out, he could stifle his opponent and end this more or less instantly. Past the 22-minute mark. Mantis coming in on the right-hand side. Looks like Sunny just has the advantage in numbers. I don't really know why we're not seeing more T2 coming out from Beej. He's upgraded the factory. He certainly could be making use of it, getting the hoplites or Wagners or Rhinos involved. Seeing a lot of T2 mass points now on the field for Beej, so he must be absolutely rolling in it in terms of mass. See a single T2 mass point anywhere for Sunny. The only one I saw was this one on the left-hand side that got taken out a little earlier. That's actually in the process of re-upgrading, so he's trying to get that back up to T2 again, but he must be hurting for mass. I think now is the time that Beej really needs to attack. Overwhelming numbers. But once again, very easy for me to say that, as I have all of the information. Garrison of forward troops from Sunny just doing their best to defend, but I think they would have been okay if they'd been fresh Mantis, but they were all so heavily damaged. They have lost out. That is another 2 mass points that Sunny cannot afford to lose. He's going to try another little probing tack up here. Beej really needs to engage. He's going to take the Juicifier if he doesn't. Lose units unnecessarily. A whole group of them going down there, so a very nice little feint from Sunny, who's promptly going to withdraw his troops to a safe position. We're actually seeing the first T2 land units on the field from Sunny, which is very surprising. Seeing nothing but T1 at the moment. Still that T2 factory not doing anything. We've got T2 air coming out, however, and a whole lot of Corsairs out here. That could cause problems as they take off. Where are they going? As a huge detail of Beej's troops engage. Hoplites in the mix, but getting swarmed. Nothing they can do about it. Sunny's comm wide open. There's not a lot of anti-air as those Corsairs circle in. Slowing this up. A huge volley goes down onto Sunny's commander. 6,800 HP. And taking artillery fire as well. Needs to be careful. Things not looking too good for him. He's going to try and get some shields up. Another volley comes in. He's down to the red. 1,500 HP. Sunny not looking strong at all. Very close to getting a shield up, which he does, thank goodness. Going to start working on some flak, which is absolutely the right thing to do. Needs to deal with these Corsairs. Most of them have been shot down by friendly interceptors, but the shield blinks on thanks to the damage. Blinks off, sorry, thanks to the damage from both that Corsair attack and the artillery. As his commander flees on 600 HP. And homing in is a huge group of Mantis now pursuing the commander. It's down to under 1,000 hit points. And again, Beej begins to mass Corsairs at the back. He's starting production, wants to get a few more of those in. But that forward base is absolutely overrun. Luckily for Sunny, there is at least a Cerberus turret down here, which is putting some long-range fire, but that's under threat now from a huge swarm of Mantis, which is approaching from the east. That shield isn't going to last too long at all, and neither will that Cerberus turret. And Sunny is making a run for it with his commander, but I think that is going to be game. I don't see any way back for it. Even if he manages to save his comm, his base is going to be in tatters. A second huge group of reinforcing Mantis coming in. This could have been over quite a while ago. I think Beej could have handled this. Certainly if he'd have started producing T2. Sunny potentially could sneak by, although I don't think he's going to. It's been recognized, and that will be game thanks to some decent intel there from Beej. A little bit of micro from Sunny trying to save him, but he's below 2,500 HP now and fleeing. Sunny throws up the well played and submits, throws up the surrender. Corsairs coming in. Beej wins, and Kaflooey, very nicely done indeed. And Beej takes out a guy a good 150, 160 odd points ahead of him in the rankings. Very nicely played indeed, and I can now say thank you to him for submitting that replay. I'm going to try and get out of the habit of saying who submits the replays beforehand, because 9 times out of 10 it's usually the guy who submitted the replay that won. But thank you indeed to Beej for sending that in, and there will be more from me tomorrow, guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. But till then, this is Gyle signing out.